Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys my SOTC or state of the collection for my watches for 2025. So I actually have quite a number of watches. I'll start first with perhaps the big boys over here. So I classify the big boys as my watches that are above with a market price of above $5,000. I have 8 of them. So let me first show you guys what I have. Let's start with this, the top left. This is my Grand Seiko Shunbun. I really love this piece. It's one that I probably will never sell. I love, the textured dial, the spring drive movement, and everything about it. So you can see that it has a very smooth sweep, and it feels great on this titanium brushset as well. Very lovely pinkish dial. Next is my Rolex Datejust reference number 16234. This is a neo vintage piece from about 1996, 1997. I really love this, it has very nice proportions for 36mm dress-ish sports watch. The lovely summon dial that you don't really see nowadays. You have this Roman applied indices that you see a dressy touch, and of course the white gold fluted bezel. My first impression of Rolex has always been, the Wimbledon sort of fluted clock that you see that keep track of the time. So I knew if I had a Rolex, it's not going to be the Daytona, it's not going to be the Submariner. It has to be the Datejust with a fluted bezel. And I think this is the one for me to keep. Okay, up next is a relatively new purchase. This is one I purchased just late last year. This is the Breitling B01 Premier, but with a lovely burgundy dial. So this is actually a limited edition of about 300 pieces. And I was lucky enough to scoop one up. So I really love this. I really love this sunburst burgundy dial. It's really, really lovely. I've been eyeing Breitling for some time now. I really love the chronograph movement. Of course, Breitling is well known for the Navy timer, perhaps one of the most iconic chronograph, I would say, in the watch industry. But I was really drawn to their Premier line that also uses their B01 movement. So this particular model actually is a manual winding movement. So let me show you guys the case back. You can see here a very lovely finishing, very lovely manual winding movement over here. This actually, I believe, the B09 movement is based upon the automatic B01, but same in-house, lovely decoration, lovely, you can see the boot screws, the Geneva striping, very lovely manual winding movement over here. Okay, next up is my MB&F MAD 1S. So again, a relatively new pickup. As you can see, the key sort of attraction of this watch is really the fidget spinner like wheel. So I've been a fan of MB&F for the longest time. Legacy Machine is probably one of my grail watches, but of course I can't afford that. And I've been eyeing the MAD 1, the more affordable sort of release for a very long time now as well. But I didn't really like how thick the previous version was and how it used like a cheapish Myoda movement. So when they announced this, the MAD 1S, where it's slimmer, you can see here it's relatively slim, and it uses a Swiss Le Jour Poirier movement as well. I knew that this is the one for me. And look at that, it's very lovely ice blue finishing as well. I paired this on the deluxe sort of strap, and it's really a very nice combination. A very fun summer watch. Up next, the classic. This is my Omega Speedmaster hot chocolate. So it's based upon obviously the black Speedmaster, but with a nice sort of faux tropical chocolate dial. Again, this is one I really love. The Speedmaster is probably one of the most iconic chronographs, in the watch industry. Again, one of the most historical, one of the most important. I'll never sell my Speedmaster, and the fact that this is a brown dial instead of the regular black dial just makes it all the more special. Again, we flip it over to the back, you can see a very lovely Omega Speedmaster movement as well. Very nice touch. Again, a watch I'll never sell. This again, another very striking and iconic chronograph design, the Tag Heuer Monaco. So I had this for quite some time now. I still love it. Again, I like watches that's a bit different. The Monaco is familiar, of course, one of the most iconic, striking, innovative design of perhaps the last few decades. But the Monaco that we often see is the blue dial one, right? The one that's made famous by Steve McQueen in the movie. So here you have the grey dial, in this case a grey brush dial. I just think it just looks so much more unique than the standard flat blue. Really love the left hand crown, the chronograph movement, the square case. Very lovely watch. Okay, the last chronograph that I have is of course the Zenith El Primero. Again, I know I've probably been saying this a lot, but the El Primero is also another very iconic chronograph design and model. I have this here in the A386 case, and also in the sunburst blue finishing. This is the boutique edition, so something that again you don't really see a lot of. I really love this striking sunburst blue. I love this flat. You can see how flat this is. This flat case. I love the brush and polish finishing. A really, really, really nice take on the iconic El Primero design. So flipping over to the back, you can just see that lovely El Primero movement behind. It also, as compared to the rest of the chronograph, it also, for the chronograph movement, it keep tracks of time at 1/10 of a second. So you can see here when I start it, it sweeps much more quickly, than the other chronographs. So again, something a little bit different from the rest of chronographs that I already have. A very nice watch that I probably won't sell as well. So last but not least in my sort of big boy box is my vintage Cartier tank. So this is by far the dressiest watch I have. Fans of the channel will know that I wear a lot of suits, and this is always the go-to, especially if it's like a very formal double-breasted or three-piece suit. Lovely watch from the 1970s. This is the reference number 15716. With the large crown, this is the New York edition for those in the know, for those Cartier fanboy. This is the New York edition and the most rare edition, I believe, the least produced one. I really love, this Art Deco step case. I love this flat dial. It's also quite a jumbo size for a Cartier tank, so it's relatively big for a tank, but still, by today's standard, a very small watch. Again, one of the watches I think I will never sell. I don't think you can really find this in the local market. I haven't seen one, at least. Something that's definitely very unique and very rare, even by Cartier's standards. So these are 8 of my big boy watches. In terms of monetary value, they're the most precious. They're from all the big brands, and they are cased up in this lovely watch box from M.A.D. So if you're looking for a nice watch storage case as well, you can head on over to M.A.D's website, take a look at some of their watch boxes. I think they're quite fantastic. They're local brand as well. Alright, so these are my more affordable timepieces. Let me start with this one in the top left corner. So over here you have the Seiko 5 One Piece Monkey D Luffy edition. And I'm a big One Piece fan, so I think it's a very nice otaku watch I sometimes wear. Up next is this, the Houdinki and Ed Sheeran collaboration. Of course, being a G-Shock, it's very bright, it's very nice. I'm a big fan of Ed Sheeran's music, so it's a lovely watch for me to have. Okay, up next is the Swatch and MoMa collaboration. Over here, you have this piece that's obviously inspired by Vincent van Gogh's iconic Starry Night painting. A very lovely piece that really conjures, the Starry Nights of impressionist style of art. Really like this one. Okay, then you have 3 of the, Swatch collaborations. Over here, of course, the MoonSwatch Snoopy. I really love sort of the entire Snoopy cartoon lineup. I have another one here that I'll show you guys in a moment. So when this all white version dropped, I knew I had to have it. Again, very nice one and just a very fun watch to have. Next is this sort of Swatch and Blancpain 50 Fathom collaboration. It's sort of one of the few automatic swatches that I have. So I thought it was a worthy pickup. I really love this sort of no red logo, the orange bezel. Just a very fun watch, which is what I think a Swatch should be. And of course, we have one of the OGs, the MoonSwatch Mission to the Sun. All of all 12 that initially launched, I really like the sun because it's a star, whereas the rest of the planet. I also like this yellow and white aesthetic, which reminds me of a tennis ball. So I actually only wear this when I play tennis as a sports watch almost. So yeah, very fun pickup that reminds me of all the craze that surrounded the MoonSwatch when it first launched. Okay, so the bottom row is some of my more serious but still relatively affordable watches. So over here on the left, you have the independent brand Kurono. Really love sort of this pinkish salmon dial they have here. Very nice touch again. Still wear it very often as almost like a casual dress watch. Staying in the independent lane, the next up we have the Ming 1709. Very lovely in touch. I always liked the Ming design aesthetic. It's so iconic and so smart. And yeah, really love the blues of guilloche down on this. Look at the floating sort of printed minute track. I think that's a genius design move. On a more heritage side, we have this, the Longines Heritage 1945. I really love this watch. I've been on the fence of whether to sell it for the past couple of years, but I've decided to keep it because I cannot really find another vintage looking watch at this price point from an established brand like Longines. You can see here the copper dial has this very lovely sunburst effect, has this really lovely vintage look. And yeah, one of the most unique looking watches I have in my collection. Okay, up next is another Snoopy watch. Here you have the Timex Snoopy collaboration. It's automatic actually. So you can see the second hand sweeping. I think Timex is a very underrated brand. I really love their mechanical offerings, especially this Marlin model. So when I saw the Timex Marlin Snoopy, I knew I had to get one. Very lovely, very fun, but also sort of dressy looking watch. Okay, next is a very recent purchase. This is a Bear and Ross World War One edition. So very unique and very rare Bear and Ross. You know, when you think of Bear and Ross, you often think of obviously the square aviation watches. But I really saw this one, I really liked it because of how unique it is. So of course you don't really see round Bear and Ross watches very often. But I love this because it's still very much in a military trench watch looking vibe. It's still quintessentially Bear and Ross due to, you know, the military sort of vibe that it's giving. And of course the bigger size. Interesting pickup for sure. Okay, so last but not least is another Snoopy watch. This time this is the Orient Bambino Snoopy edition. So again, very similar vibes, you know, to the Timex Marlin Snoopy. Again, an automatic watch, very affordable. You know, Bambino is well loved by watch enthusiasts, so needs no introduction. Really, but what I really like is sort of the Snoopy sort of aesthetic that they have here. You know, very cute. I love the vintage Orient script as well. It's meant, I think it's for anniversary model edition, so they went a little bit vintage with this. Very cute watch. One of my favorites of my affordable watch collection, definitely. Okay, so that sums up, you know, my watch collection. I showed you guys 20 watches. Some are more expensive, some like those in this box are a little bit more affordable. But throughout my entire sort of curation, I really try to go for watches that are iconic, striking, but something a little bit different from the norm, something that's not very commonly seen. So I hope you guys like my collection. Let me know down below, you know, which is your favorite watch. Let me know, you know, if there are any that you don't like. I'm very curious to see what are you guys' thoughts on my own watch collection. Okay, so that rounds up this video. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. To subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. As always, I'll see you guys in my next one. Ciao!